Hey folks, welcome back to day 3 of GameSpot's live coverage from the Comic-Con show floor. Chris Waters here, kicking off our coverage today with a very special game, appropriately themed. I've got Michael Whitford here, the CEO of Twisted Pixel Games, here to show off Comic Jumper.
Right. Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Michael, thanks so much for having it here. Great show for you guys to be showing off your game, huh?
It is. This is probably the perfect venue for our game. And you know, how often is there a game about comic books that you get to show at Comic-Con? So that's what we got.
And so thoroughly comic themed now. We had your E3 demo. We saw a couple different styles of comic book because this game is not just about one comic style, right?
That's right. Yeah. So this game is actually about a character named Captain Smiley, who's this kind of superhero that thinks he's more awesome than he really is. He's not really doesn't have any really cool superpowers. He gets by on thinking he's awesome. But his own comic book starts to lose favor with his fans, and he needs to work with his creators, Twisted Pixel, in order to jump into 3 other comic books, and they're all completely different.
So his comic's not doing so good. He's going to go try to piggyback off other people's, or just mix stuff up and get some attention?
That's right. So he basically, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Time Cop with Jean-Claude Van Damme, when he has to get in that crappy car and go shooting towards a wall in order to go back in time.
And then he does a split on the kitchen counter.
Of course. But we actually modeled that car identically, so that's how Captain Smiley jumps into different comics using that car. So,
excellent.
So he ends up getting into that, and he goes into 3 different comics that we have other than his own, which is, we have a manga comic, which we haven't talked too much about, but we'll talk about soon. It's totally crazy and overly Japanese. And then we have one that's kind of Nanok the Obliviator. It's kind of like a Frank Frazetta style from the 70s. And then here, the one we're showing today, is our Jack Kirby-inspired, 1960s Silver Age style.
The bam, boom, kapow we're seeing there.
Exactly. And you're seeing these violations being given on the screen here. That's because back in that era of comics, there was the Comics Code Commission did not allow to show police officers being hit at all. So every time you're hitting a police officer here, you're getting a violation.
You're getting a violation stamp, and is that, that's presumably a good thing in this game?
Yeah, you just, you got to do what you got to do.
You're mixing it up.
Yeah. And then you'll see here too, we go into different styles of gameplay, like 3D. And now Brandon's called out to Twisted Pixel to help him and destroy all the characters on the screen. And so our lead programmer, Frank, does the job.
Excellent. He smashes that wall so you can shoot in the background. So, do you pop into headbutt anything in this game?
No, but we do try to sneak in references for everybody. That's actually my face in the background back there.
Nice. You do that one yourself?
No, I think Brandon might have actually done that for me.
Brandon's the guy who's driving at the controls here. Yeah. All right, so we've seen in this level already sort of the side-scrolling beat 'em up. Right. Now we've got the shooter. What are some other styles of play you guys explore here?
Yeah, so we have the 4 different comic book styles that change the graphics completely, but then also within each comic, like you've said, there's a lot of different types of gameplay. You saw Melee at the beginning of this. It's just totally like a brawler, like Double Dragon, and this is the shooting section, and then 3D. But then we also have in the Nanok comics, you get in golf carts and you're like racing and kind of having to outrun and shoot down other cars. And in the first comic, I think we showed last time, that you have to kick a robot down the side of a building and you're surfing on her back.
Nice.
So there's just all sorts of wacky, crazy, cool stuff. If you like Explosion Man, I think you'll appreciate the humor of comic.
There's certainly a sense of humor. I was noticing you were following the sign up the stairs towards Old Broken Crap, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's excellent. So, doing the different styles of comics not only gives you a chance to work out gameplay variety, but also visual variety. So this is a very saturated, very colorful look.
And it's also a very difficult game to make, because it's almost like making 4 games in one, which was probably the dumbest thing we've ever decided to do.
Maybe not the most expedient method, but certainly
But it looks awesome, and it was a lot of work. And no one's really made a game like this with so drastically different art styles all in the same game, and we've always wanted to do that. So we finally gave it a shot.
And it's looking sharp. Now, you guys are showing this off on the show floor here, right?
Yes.
Playable. Folks here at Comic-Con can go by and get their hands on it.
People can actually play this game. They can play 3 of the 4 comic styles over at the Xbox booth or at the Hard Rock, where they have the Xbox Lounge.
Going pretty well. People
actually, people are really, really digging it. I think coming to Comic-Con, there's a lot of people that maybe don't know a lot about Xbox Live Arcade games, but as soon as they see this game, they get really, really interested. So it's cool.
Very cool. Now, another thing people at Comic-Con are interested in, of course, is swag, and I noticed a few buttons. You got the T-shirt. Do you guys have any choice pieces of giveaway stuff you're working on?
So we're giving away a new button each day, one that corresponds to the different comic book styles that we have in the game.
Okay.
So today I think we're giving away the Silver Age button, actually. And you know, we also have these new shirts. If you go to Hard Rock and play the game, you can get a Comic Jumper shirt. And we're also, yesterday and the day before, we were doing signings. Brandon, the demo right now, is our lead concept artist. He creates all the characters, so he was doing sketches for people, which is fun to do at Comic-Con.
Awesome, yeah, very fun. Now, before we close it out here, and this woman with the R over her eyes making me a little uncomfortable. Villains you guys have, of course.
Yes, yeah, we have a lot of crazy villains, and this is Mistress Ropes.
Mistress Ropes. Well, you can see some of the things she does with ropes here, animating the T-Rex skeleton. And Michael, before we close out, folks want to get their hands on this game. Can you tell them when they're when that's going to happen, or what they can look forward to in the future?
Yeah, you know, we're talking to Microsoft right now about when the game's going to be coming out and how much the price point's going to be. We haven't quite nailed it down, but we're going to be announcing it very soon. It's definitely going to be a pretty big launch event for us. I think there's going to be some really cool announcements coming soon. So definitely, you know, keep your eyes on our website and stuff. And then also, you know, in case anybody doesn't know, we've talked about it before, I think, on the show, but this game's going to be the first game to give away DLC for another game, in this case Explosion Man, so we're going to be giving away new levels to Explosion Man just from within this game.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right, so Explosion Man fans rejoice. Michael, thank you so much for coming on by, showing off Comic Jumper. All right, folks, day 3, we're going to continue by heading back out onto the show floor, one of GameSpot's most handsome and talented editors.